Welcome to Above the Garage.
Hi, friends. Welcome to our discussion of Season 4, Episode 7 of Industry. Let's do our round of introductions and dive in.
Hi, I'm Aubrey.
Hi, I'm Melissa.
Hi, I'm Raquel.
And I'm Kate. I get to use my favorite word again. This penultimate episode of Industry Season 4 is entitled Points of Emphasis and was both written and directed by Conrad Kay and Mickey Down. And the cinematographer is Federico Susca. Apologies if I mispronounced that. The episode opens with Yaz and Henry calmly discussing Whitney's Dear Henry letter. JK. Henry's screaming at her, blaming this whole mess on her as if she hadn't been the one raising red flags all last episode. Henry's terrified and sure that he's going to jail, but Yaz is mostly worried about their money, only to find out Henry invested all of their money in Tinder stock. Oh my God. He is the stupidest man on the planet. Is that not insane? Did you guys not lose your minds when you saw that?
So dumb.
Yeah, so dumb.
What?
Why though? I don't, is that to make it grow? Was he pushed into it? Because we haven't seen that. So I thought what's maybe Whitney sort of pushed him into doing it? Because it makes no sense.
Yeah, it's verifiably insane. I just can't even wrap my head around it.
Decision made when he was high off of this, I guess, when he was his most confident.
Probably. Yeah. But man.
And I hated the way he treated Jasmine the whole time. It was
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was awful. It was awful. They're screaming horrible things at each other. He tells her that she doesn't matter at all, basically. But my favorite line was Henry's petulant yelling, "I am a good person and the world shall tell that back to me."
I was
love that.
like, no, guy, you're not a good person at all.
It's also literally what Whitney did to him, though, right?
Yeah.
He was getting that from Whitney.
Yeah, amazing writing. So good.
Oh, yeah.
I did like when he concluded that line with, "What am I for?"
Right. Yaz decides to de-escalate it eventually, backs entirely off, apologizes, and tells Henry he's so right. And he's too Henry to see through it, to realize she's just realized how pointless it is and that Henry's a lost cause to her. But she lets him lay on her all night while she stares at the ceiling.
I love the hard cut at the end of this, too, when they're in the bed and it's night and then it cuts and the music cuts out and then it's daytime and they're still in the same position. She's just staring at the ceiling. I really like that.
Yeah, and it was surprising.
It's good editing.
Uh-huh.
I think we said this before when you transition from scene to scene. Aubrey mentioned in a previous episode that is so good.
Yeah.
How the cuts are so seamless.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in the perfect second to cut and the music cues are always great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The acting from both of them in the scene was, again, next level.
Yeah.
The way that you see her face shift in that moment you just described, where he's yelling in her face and then switches to apologizing, and you can just see her making that choice.
Yeah, she's done with him.
Yeah.
She's going to do her own thing and save herself. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys said earlier that the writing was really, really good.
Mm.
The delivery and the acting of all of these lines is just so spot on. Everybody.
Next level is good praise.
Kate and Marisa are so great together.
Yeah.
The way they scream each other and they kiss each other. I mean, every situation is so good. Their acting is so good.
They have really good chemistry, yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
She looks so pretty in that scene as well when they're shouting at each other. She literally has no makeup on. Well, she probably does, but she doesn't have any.
Very light.
Incredibly pretty in that.
Yeah, I also noticed she looked gorgeous. I noticed a lot in this episode, both her and Myha'la. Just so pretty.
I also thought of the line that Harper said, I think it was in the first scene of them together in the previous episode, where she comes to Tinder and she's telling Yaz about what she's planning to do. And she says that she just plays at empathy, or you don't really have any real empathy left and you just fake it. And I thought of that in this scene because that's the way she's acting with Henry. You can tell she's completely faking having any feeling for him there.
Yeah.
And she does that really, really well.
I do still wonder if she's actually ever showed any real empathy for anybody, or she just fakes it.
It's so hard to know. Sometimes I feel like I can see something, but then
she is crying by herself after she talks to Alexander later in the episode. But she's decided to burn her husband down. So it's hard to say if that means that much or if she's.
But I feel like, I don't know if, again, we can discuss that later, but I don't know how much of that is her actually feeling sorry for Henry or for the life she thought she was building with Henry.
Right.
Yes.
That's obviously been, pulled out under her feet
exactly.
too. So yeah, I don't know. Even with Harper in the end, she's just doing it because she needs somebody. She's literally alone. So how much of that is genuine?
Right.
lately I've been feeling more like Harper is more true or more honest with her feelings or expressing her feelings than Jasmine. I think Jasmine, it's very hard to tell if she's genuine with her feelings or not.
Right.
I agree, but also Harper is winning this season, whereas
Yeah.
she's at the top, so it's easier for her to be more honest with her own feelings when things are going her way.
That's true, yeah. I think maybe emotional manipulation, maybe Yaz is a little bit better at that or something. Like, I don't know.
I can see what you're saying. She has more practice in that emotional side of it than Harper does. Harper's more business oriented when she's manipulating.
Right.
And Yaz plays people's emotions. So
maybe that's the reason we can feel like Harper is more genuine now because of that. She's more like business than Jasmine, that is always maybe faking or not. You really can't tell the difference between them.
Right. Well, and Yaz grew up with, an abusive father. So
yeah,
presumably she had to manipulate emotions her whole life and got good at it.
Yep, seems right.
She said that later, right? When she's like, when I was 17, it was so much easier to get people to do what I wanted.
Yeah.
It's horrible, but yeah.
I love some of the lines in this scene. I love the way that Henry called the Dear Henry letter self-mythologizing guru terrorist manifesto. I was like, that's pretty good.
It is pretty good.
That is what it sounded like we were hearing when we were listening to it last episode. Also, when Yaz says, she's asking about the money, she says, you still have a fucking nose on your face, so where's the rest of the money?
Yeah.
Does that mean like you didn't snort it all?
Snort it all.
Yeah.
There's so many notable lines. I'm like, I could just write down the whole
the whole scene. Yeah.
Go on for hours.
Yeah, exactly. Like word for word.
Let's just read the screenplay live on the podcast.
Yeah. Such good writing. Over at Stern Tao HQ, Kwabena is updating the whiteboard, even though Eric's no longer present to make him. Tenderstock has been making a comeback after Tony Day's defense in the last episode and their subsequent press release rehashing it. No public word yet on a new audit, and he had my question. Who can actually force them to get a new audit, because their trade needs that to happen ASAP? Before the scene is over, Harper makes it very clear to Sweet Pea and Kwabena, probably despite herself, how hurt she is by Eric leaving. I thought that was very good acting too. She seemed so sad and pissed off.
Definitely. I like how they were asking basically like, what would Eric do?
Yeah.
I guess she was making it sound like she was going to manipulate the audit to happen, right? She was going to find some way to manipulate it, which obviously she does.
Right.
But the way they looked at her and then they were like, what do you think Eric would say about that? It's like, what do you think our dad would say?
Right. Yeah, it was weird to not have him in the episode. I mean, I think him walking down the street was a pretty, final feeling thing, but it's so strange for him not to be in the last two episodes, being that he's alive and has some things going on.
Right. Random, but I love Sweet Pea just eating the stack of pancakes. She just has this decadent pancake stack next to her.
Yeah.
It's good. She looks so cute in her glasses too. I love her glasses.
Yeah, she looks great.
I love her style, every single outfit she wears. I mean, this season the outfits have been really, really good, in my opinion, for everybody. But yeah, she looks really, really cool.
Absolutely agree. Random thing that John mentioned to me about her name, the last name Go Lightly.
Right, from Breakfast.
Yeah, from Breakfast at Tiffany's. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, can't be her real name, right?
I don't know. I love how they don't really ever bring much attention to it.
Right.
Except that one moment Burgess on the phone when she says her name and he's like, what? And then they just kind of move on. But yeah, it's a crazy name. It's like a comic book name or something.
Yeah.
Comic book character. I love it though. It's very cool.
I do too. She's cool all around.
But I do kind of wonder about the name references now, because obviously there's the American Psycho connection with the Halberstrom name. That was a guy that he got confused for in American Psycho. So I'm just like, I wonder if they've sprinkled in all of these references in other names that we haven't caught them yet.
Right.
Because I tried to think through. I was like, are there any others that I can think of? But
I'm so bad connecting names from.
Yeah, I'm usually pretty bad at that too.
I can only think of what we already discussed with Amelia from the chicken shop. Obviously that was intentional, even though she's not even mentioned the name of the character is not mentioned. But and you also mentioned that it was funny that they gave the friend that was giving Rishi a blowjob that she had a surname.
Yeah.
So I do think that the names probably do mean something. I mean, these shows are so well thought out that
I'm sure.
I wouldn't be surprised if, but I can't think of any more.
Even like later in the boardroom scene, they put the names in the subtitles and they're like full names of characters. We've never heard them say their names before. So they're giving everybody like a full name, which is cool. I like that.
Yeah. I was surprised to see Whitney in the office in the next scene. Henry too, really. Henry's just glaring at him across the glass office until Whitney finally comes to join him in his office. And despite all this time staring, Henry is still not sure what he wants to say outside of how reptilian Whitney is. Whitney's acting as usual, overconfident self, assuring Henry he's not going to avoid jail time if he goes to the authorities and tries to convince him this is all just going to go away. It's simply a misalignment between the velocity of my vision and the velocity of regulation. Tinder just needs to buy a little time, order a long protracted audit, and distract the world by taking over Pierpoint from Almirage. The merger will bury all of their little problems of today. Basically, Whitney, as usual, just employs a lot of big words and a giant word salad to try to convince Henry this is fixable, and Henry seems like he's actually maybe gonna try to believe it and go along with him. Dummy.
The word salad is perfect because I feel like it's just enough to be confusing and not enough to seem completely ridiculous. Like sometimes it seems a little ridiculous because we're focusing on it, but I feel like it's like the perfect amount of, oh, you're just really smart and this is over my head.
Yeah.
You know,
it has that effect on Henry. It works. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you see people calling him out on it later in the episode. Like,
yes,
I think a lot of people do recognize it for what it is, but I agree. It's successful with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And me, like for most of the season, I'm like, yeah, that sounds good.
I have no idea what they're talking about 70% of the time.
Sounds businessy. I don't know.
I just love how, like, at some point, one of the characters will actually explain it to us and dumb it down.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I love how they like sprinkle us. It's like, oh, that's what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an example in this scene too, I feel like, because he says pro forma consolidation, and I had to look that up because I had no freaking clue what that meant. And it's just hypothetically combining financials in a company that you're going to merge with. So then in the next scene, when they're in the boardroom and he gets Henry to basically parrot that back, the way Henry says it, it's like it explains what he meant by that. It's just what you were saying, Raquel. Like,
yeah,
makes more sense after you see it repeated by somebody else.
Yeah, they're good at that.
Yeah.
I think he was too bold. Like, how? How are you there? You showed up there after the letter?
Yeah, I can't believe he showed up.
I was surprised too.
It was like, wow, guys, you have balls.
Yeah, I assumed we would never see him in the office again, and so to see
Same.
them both there the next day, it was funny to me.
Mm-hmm. They're just awkwardly staring at each other after that.
Yeah.
Across the office.
And when Harry's like, close the door. Like, let's have this conversation.
It's actually really funny.
And I thought for a second that Harry will do something like choke him or something.
Right.
And then I just have that image that, no, he's a coward. So
Yeah.
I knew back then, no, he won't do that.
Yeah.
Nothing to Whitney.
Wishful thinking.
He's getting closer to that, though, I feel like Henry is. I don't know.
I was expecting something like, dude, react.
Yeah. He just puts his face on the desk too. It's a very like vulnerable, not, I don't know. It was funny to me. He's, yeah, just a coward. Kind of pathetic.
The guy's fucking with you and you're there.
So he's also relapsed
Yeah.
into his addiction. So he's drinking, probably doing drugs too.
Mm-hmm.
So this is literally finding him at his worst.
Right.
Like, he was doing better. So it's more difficult for him to control himself as well and think clearly.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, and he said, he was like, the only thing that's good about sobriety is my productivity. But like, yeah, you can tell his brain is literally affected by all of that, as well as just general depression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how Whitney keeps using lines with Henry like, we're close enough for honesty. And then 2 sentences later, he's just lying directly to his face.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like talking about the Pierpoint stock. And it's like the fake Pierpoint stock like that you're telling him you've got. That was very clever, though, to use the reference back to when Henry had that idea from, it was episode 4, maybe.
Yeah.
He should have actually done it, but
Whitney's really good at what he does. Like, I enjoy his character immensely, even though you can see it's like he's fully miserable about it at this point. You know, you finally get to see in this episode.
Yeah, he's sleeping. The mask is sleeping. Yeah.
Yeah, but he is able to put it back on and just bullshit everyone.
I've got more on that. Like we can talk about it. I'm sure you guys have made the same note. But in this specific scene, Max's acting was so good. Like I love how like subtle it is, and obviously we know about that. But
yeah,
like the way he was looking at his watch dismissively when he was like, "Oh, come on, get it over with."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's just so good, honestly.
Yeah, I loved him this whole episode.
He literally doesn't say a word, but he's just like he's got these little like things that are so subtle, but just really convey so much.
I also noticed, I don't know, I've noticed this before in Max's accent, that there's like occasionally a word that seems like I can't place the accent almost. Like it doesn't feel like it all is from the same region, kind of.
Oh, yeah.
Like I noticed in episode 1, when he's shouting with Jonah, there were a couple words he said that sounded like slightly northern or Midwestern or something. And I kept thinking, okay, is he supposed to be from somewhere like that? But then Stanford's in California, right? So I remember I went down like a rabbit hole of confusion over that in the first episode. And then I just dismissed it as like, you're analyzing this like too much. But then there was an interview with him recently where he said that he was injecting like different accent into just certain words to make it more ambiguous as to where he was from. So I thought that was really interesting.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
And again, just these subtle ways of his acting that probably not a lot of people have picked up on it, but he does do them.
Mm-hmm. I also noticed Henry is dressing up more in this episode. Like the whole episode, he's wearing more like button downs and stuff.
Stepping up a bit.
Yeah, like he's trying to, I guess he needs to lean into that professionalism to appeal to people that, you know, he's under fire right now. So he's trying to look his best.
Right.
Whereas where he did the kind of like fun, business casual thing. And now he's wearing the button downs and the ties. And
oh, yeah. Interesting. I would like to. Did you go back and were you rewatching it? Somebody was rewatching it now that they know more. You?
Yeah. I went back and watched episode 1 again recently, and it was so interesting.
Yeah.
Like you can kind of see, because now that you know Ferdinand's whole deal,
right?
Scene where he's sitting with Whitney talking about Jonah. He basically just says Jonah's not a serious person. That scene, and Whitney kind of says the company is me and Jonah. This is not a problem. But there's like a subtle threatening presence of Ferdinand being there.
Oh.
And at the time, I think we were all just like, oh, Whitney's just thinking it over and deciding to get rid of Jonah. But now I'm thinking that he was basically being threatened, like you got to get rid of him.
Right. And he was maybe even trying to protect him.
Mm-hmm.
That's really, I'd like to, need to go back and rewatch it that way. I'll probably wait until it's over.
Yeah, watch the whole thing after you have all the pieces. I also noticed that Whitney's wearing that necklace that's like a circle. I think we actually even talked about it. It was like a ring. Pretty sure it's an Ouroboros, because then Kobena mentions the Ouroboros later.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, they've peppered in so many little bits.
So when is he wearing it?
In the scene with Harper. It's like just there, kind of. You can see it a few times.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
What is it though? Like, I don't know what that is.
Ouroboros is a snake eating its like own tail.
Oh, right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Devouring itself.
Infinity cycle never ends.
Maybe just him changing who he is and stuff.
Recycling himself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've made a couple of comparisons with him and Snake, especially in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
That's fitting.
Lisa finds herself in the line of fire quite a bit this episode, despite her always having been the one who was actively against Tinder. This time she's fielding questions from her apparent rival on television, who is accusing her and the government of being in bed with Tinder executives and expediting their banking licenses, which she, of course, knows is accurate, but she defends it as false nonetheless. And we see Yaz watching this on her television and calling Henry's uncle, Alexander, for a meeting. Next up, Lisa's defending herself at 10 Downey Street, with Bevan standing behind her, nodding along, looking miserable. I admire Lisa's ability to argue their side, despite not even believing in it. The Prime Minister is considering calling for the audit themselves, and his man storms out of the room before Bevan thanks Lisa for not throwing her to the wolves like she should have. Lisa rejects Bevan's offered apology, instead preferring to call her out on all the times she's inappropriately spent in the Muck's company, implies that is going to be easily discovered and incredibly damning. Jennifer Bevan kind of annoys me this episode.
I felt really bad for her, honestly, Jenny.
Yeah, no, I think she's kind of excessively naive and deserves it. And like the way she's sitting there just like nodding along and not helping while Lisa's defending this stance that she got them in, it really annoyed me. But your feelings are valid. Tell us why. Tell us why you felt bad for her.
Yaz totally ruined her.
Yeah.
Like, just manipulated her, pulled her into all of this. Like, later on, their conversations are pretty gross. Like, the way Yaz is talking to her and trying to get her to throw Lisa under the bus for everything, and then she refuses in the scene later with the tabloid.
Whitney did that to Henry. Do you feel like as bad for Henry?
Do I feel as bad for Henry as I do for Jenny?
Not as, that would be a bad word. Do you also feel that way for Henry? I'm curious.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like very similar. Dislike them both for being so naive, which...
Yeah, but that's the word, because I don't, but like, one, Jasmine didn't know that she was manipulating her into all of these. She didn't know the extent of what was going to happen, whereas Whitney did.
Yeah.
Very good point.
So I think it is slightly different.
Definitely. And I also just feel like my reaction about Yaz is more based on how she's acting in this episode now that this has happened.
Right. Yeah, she's awful in this episode towards her. But I don't know. I just don't like Bevan that much.
I feel bad for Jennifer because she really trusted Jasmine, but
that was her decision as well. Like, no one forced her to do it. So I think it's slightly different.
Why did she trust her?
Yeah, I don't know.
She barely knew her. I just don't get it.
I know, but I don't know. I feel maybe because I know Henry and how he is with Jasmine, I don't feel bad for him. But I do feel bad for Jennifer because she seems to be a good person and it's a politics. So I don't know, but if she's so good, but at least every single time we have seen her, she was nice or she
is nice. I agree.
She tried to help them, you know?
But it was also transactional for her, though. Like, she was getting something out of it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just, she decided to team up with Jasmine.
Yeah.
So even though I do feel a little bit bad, again, it was her decision.
You just have to be smarter than that, too, though, in politics. Yeah. Everybody's going to be trying to play you, you know? And I don't think she could survive in that. But she has survived a little longer.
Yeah.
I do really like the line or the exchange, what's stopping us calling our own audit? And then Lisa says we can't mark our own homework.
Yeah.
It's a very good way to phrase that and to explain what both them and Harper are trying to do, basically.
Right. True. Bevan calls Yaz while Alexander looks on. Bevan admits she needs the help of the Norton tabloids, and Alexander and Yaz discuss publishing a piece outing the Labour Party's unethical relationship with Tinder in an attempt to distract from Yaz and Henry's role in all this. Knowing, though, that this article will be the nail in the coffin of Tinder if they do it. Notably, Henry is not being consulted in this decision. In fact, in lieu of that, Yaz tells Alexander all the worst things she can about Henry. Accurate, though they mostly are. Unfaithful, alcoholic, relapsed cocaine addict, even heroin. She says he uses heroin often, which I don't think is true lately. But she's all in on fucking him over at this point. And Alexander looks like he's over his nephew, too.
I didn't really quite understand why Alexander was okay with the whole thing. That's lost to me.
I think he's been really frustrated with Henry since episode 2 about his behavior. And so I feel like Yasmin is able to play that card of like, you've been upset about this and wanting him to change, and
it ain't happening.
Yeah, like later they call it like the tough love or whatever. So I think it maybe is that. And also Yaz is playing such a victim card in this scene.
Yeah.
And he's buying it a bit.
But I don't know, the whole thing, like at the beginning, you know, with Alexander, was like, he's the only one left in the family that's carrying the name. I don't know, like, I understand, you know, he's a disgrace and he's messing with the family name and all of that. Like, I do get that part, but like, as he said at the end, like, this is going to literally kill him.
Yeah.
And I don't know why he would be okay with that.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's tough love, but this is like this. And he even says it's like there's a line between tough love and literally pushing him to kill him himself.
Yeah.
I wonder if Alexander gets something out of this with their estate or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
They haven't ever mentioned that, I don't think.
No.
But you're right. It doesn't seem like quite enough for him to go this far with it.
Right. I think the next conversation they have is more transparent and actually like spells out, you know, look, this is going to actually kill him.
He still does it though. Like, that's what I'm saying.
And it's harder for him, but he still does it. Yeah. Like right now, I feel like it would make sense that it's just been brought up and he's angry and, you know, they're not doing it yet. But the next scene, I feel the same way. Like, how could you do that when you're literally stating it's going to kill him?
They have shown a few scenes over the past episodes, and I think even at the end of season 3, where Alexander and Yaz seem to be a little bit more on the same page, like speaking the same language a bit more.
Right.
So I don't know if she's just kind of buddied up so much to him that he's taking her side.
Yeah, it kind of feels to me like he's choosing her as an heir to their family, but I would think that the actual like DNA and blood would bother him, that he would want.
Yeah, exactly. It felt that way at the beginning of the season, yeah.
Yeah, that part confuses me. I would understand him liking her more, but giving up on the whole ancestry of this line, with them being who they are.
Unless she's pregnant and we don't know yet.
Yeah, that would
be so fun.
Then I would understand his stance, sadly enough.
Yep.
At the Tinder board meeting, Whitney is once again trying to completely ignore reality and the gigantic disaster in front of him in favor of grandiose lies about a hostile takeover of Pierpoint. One of the board members is insisting on a new audit. He seems to truly believe they have nothing to hide. When Henry is directly asked his thoughts on all this, he hesitates long enough that Whitney interrupts, aggressively demanding Henry tell them how adamantly he's been lobbying for this Pierpoint nonsense. It works. Henry suggests they wait for the Pierpoint takeover for their next audit, trying to buy the time Whitney asked him for. Whitney calls a board vote on this fictitious Pierpoint takeover, and he wins the meeting, even as the lone board member points out he's just sidestepping the real questions.
Kit's acting when he finally starts speaking during the scene is so good.
Yeah, he's so good.
Like, he just stares at Whitney, delivering those lines that he says it so slowly and exactly what Whitney wants him to say. And it's just, you can tell that he's almost doing it passive aggressively.
Right. Malicious compliance.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great term.
I like it.
Yeah. There's also this amazing cut to Henry's face when someone in the board, I don't know who it was, said, I think it's the one dissenting guy, but I don't know his name. He says, we have nothing to hide. And it just cuts to Henry's face. Like, he goes like, like makes a little smirk. So good.
It was so good.
Also loved Max's delivery where he says, when that same guy is basically like, we should all be more concerned about this and like stepping up and doing the audit.
Do you want the quote from the guy? Because I just found it.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's high time the men leading this company stopped sidestepping substantive questions. Is that the one you meant?
Yeah. And then when he's just like, cool, all in favor?
Yeah. That was
so
great
good.
Delivery. It's so dismissive.
It's so funny. He's such a dick. It's just great. Ferdinand also looks at Whitney and says, running is not an option. And that was the first moment of you thinking like, okay, so he knows something's up and that's a threat.
Yeah. I actually did not catch that.
I don't really know at what point he must have figured it out, though, then, because I'm a little confused by that. But I guess we'll get into that when we do the parking garage scene later.
On their private jet, Henry accuses Whitney of being too attached to his phone, and he, possibly importantly, replies, if you ever see me without it, you can assume I'm dead. He goes on to confirm that Henry does indeed have compromising videos of Yaz and Henry that Yaz accused him of having. Whitney calls Wilhelmina at Pierpoint from the plane. Pierpoint is, in fact, in the market to be acquired, she confirms. Whitney convinces Henry to play the game with him and woo her, so he gets on the phone for a sentence or two. And she receives the message that they are trying to announce a hostile takeover at their AGM.
Henry's line when Whitney bullies him into getting on the phone and he says, Al Mirage never loved you.
Yeah.
That's kind of how he feels probably within Tinder.
Yeah, that's true.
I love this turn too, where Whitney isn't like buttering up and smooth talking Henry anymore. He's just fully embracing the kind of villain overlord relationship that he has with him.
Yeah.
Because now there's obviously he's still lying to him, but not the way he was before.
No. I like the way he said it. It was like, do you think I'm capable of doing that?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah. It's like, okay, there you go. That's your answer then. What are you asking?
Right.
Yeah, Whitney doesn't need anything more from Henry, so he doesn't care.
Yeah. Well, he needs him to play along, though.
Mm-hmm.
That part's baffling to me, but
yeah,
it's Henry.
But also, yeah, because Henry is so involved that he also needs to play along to save himself. So
yeah,
and all his money is in the business.
Yeah, he's just selling him the idea of like, we can come out of this alive.
Yes, survive.
We can pull this off, but everybody knows that they're not gonna be able to like pull it off.
No, it doesn't seem pull-offable at all.
But he just needs him to believe it, and he has to believe it because otherwise he will be hanging himself somewhere.
Right.
If he doesn't believe that.
I'm interested to see what happens next episode as far as that goes. It's so crazy to me that Bevan actually comes into this tabloid office. I would hope that she would insist this meeting take place elsewhere, but alas, she really is extremely naive. She starts the meeting out honest. Lisa was always the cautious one, but Yaz cuts her off and tells her to flip the script. To straight up lie. Bevan's supposed to play Lisa in this lie, and after hearing it all laid out, she balks and leaves without agreeing. They discuss plan B. If Bevan won't hand it to them, perhaps they can leak some information to a smaller publication and then jump on that once it's out with their front page. Alexander looks kind of sad about Yasmin's ability to burn his nephew and his company to the ground when she leaves, while Kevin, the other guy in the office, laughs at her admiringly as a hard fucking bird.
Yaz is back in the shoulder pads.
So many shoulder pads this season.
I feel like they always wear them in scenes where they have to look real important and own the room.
Yeah.
When she said, "Do you feel stonewalled?" to Jenny, that was where I started to get real annoyed. Because I was like, did you basically just do that to her? Like, pushing her into this? I mean, I know that, like you said, it was her choice, but Yaz was very pushy about everything and, like, getting close to her and acting like her friend and all that.
And as Kate said, though, she should know better than that.
Yeah.
Than to trust somebody like Jasmine. I don't know. I don't feel that bad for her.
Yeah, I have trouble coming up with sympathy for her, but I do know that Yaz is not being a good person in this episode.
And I feel like we know them so well. We're like, how can you trust this person? But like,
yeah.
not everybody knows them as well as the audience does.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that way sometimes where I'm just like, you know, we know that everybody is capable of really horrible things.
Right.
But I don't know if just walking down the street, I totally get what you guys are saying, and I agree that she's in politics and she should be smarter about her decisions. But there's probably like something in the middle that's more normal level of that than...
Yeah, I mean, this show is like literally the worst of humanity. Like, teaches me to assume the worst about everyone.
Yeah.
So, yes, they have not watched their own show yet. So I really like, can't believe she went to their office. It looks so bad in any scenario.
Yeah, because then at the end she's freaking out like, this is off the record, you know? And I'm thinking...
No, it's not. You walked right into their building.
Too late for that.
Yeah, they're not going to honor that. There's no way.
Anyway. Yaz shows up at Harper's office next, catching her off guard. But she's feeling lonely, so she makes them tea. Yaz wastes little time before deploying the next step of her mission, telling Harper that Dern and Bevan were at Norton offices today for crisis PR, and personally confirms the government was far too close to Tinder management, lays the blame for the expedited license on Dern. Harper remembers Bevan was at Henry's 40th, but she lays that on Dern too somehow. It doesn't take too long until Harper looks at her like she knows what's happening here finally. She's being used, as usual, but Harper's willing. A fake memo is invented in Yasmin's mind, a story that Harper recognizes will prompt a political bloodbath and will also serve her purposes to force a government-ordered audit. Harper asks Yaz to be blunt, and Yasmin acquiesces. Get someone to write about this, stock price tanks, and I will have a safer escape route. Our interests have finally aligned, she says.
Did you guys feel like Yaz wasn't trying as hard to make this sound, like to trick Harper into thinking that this was true?
Yes.
Like, it seemed kind of lazy.
Right. I think she trusts Harper to know, because their interests are aligned, that she trusts her to see that she's lying or part of this has been fabricated. That was my impression.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, same. But also really funny because they're finally aligned because she's the one losing. Like,
yeah.
And again, it would have been exactly the same way
if
it was the other way around. But yeah, I just found it really interesting the way it's like, oh, they're finally aligned. It's like, yeah, it's because you need her now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I find that the relationship, we can go about it later on, but yeah, I just find it so fascinating how they go back and forth and like nothing's happened and they've not literally destroyed each other's lives several times.
How is Harper still working in this hotel now that Eric's gone, by the way? Because wasn't he paying like $100,000 or something for this place?
Yes. Yeah. I don't know. I was wondering that too. I guess until he gets officially taken down, he feels guilty enough to continue paying for them.
That could be.
They're still ordering room service too, as you noted with the pancakes.
Yeah. It's getting more decadent. They're like running up a tab on his credit card right now. I could see Harper doing that just for spite, honestly.
I definitely could see that, like Kevin McAllister style, ordering room service. Harper immediately heads out to do her bidding. She meets with Burgess at a pub and feeds him all the goods she and Yaz are hoping to see in tomorrow's Finn Digest. The myth of these memos is growing larger. Burgess thinks he sees right through her, implies she's immoral and it's hard for her to fake otherwise, but he's probably on board. Although he draws the line at her invoking Jim's memory to motivate him, calls it grotesque because unfulfilled potential is the saddest fucking thing in the world.
Yeah, I love his line to her where he says, you know, your face does this amazing thing when your concerns become moral. Your eyes soften like you're trying to trick your physiognomy into telling yourself you actually care about this shit.
Yeah.
I love that. And it was very difficult for me to just even read So
I know.
That's an example
That's
of
why
how
I didn't
hard.
write it down. I was like, I don't know how to say physiognomy or whatever it is.
Yeah,
It's
I
great
can't
though.
imagine how hard it would be to learn these lines and deliver them in these scenes.
Yeah. Especially, yeah, Whitney's lines. Max must have like, they're so fast with all the words.
It's crazy.
I would be tripping all over myself.
Same.
Like I already am.
I really like Burgess, though, as a character.
I do too. And his giant dog. Where's his giant dog? Why didn't they bring it to the pub?
Oh, yeah.
Whitney thinks now is as good a time as any to run as far away from this shit show as he can, but it is unfortunately not a good time at all. He doesn't even make it out of the hallway, barely a few steps before he's seized by someone. Henry hears the excitement and calls Whitney, but it goes straight to voicemail. They shove Whitney into a black SUV, and Ferdinand is waiting, reveals to him that it was his dead drop phone that gave him away, when and where he turned it on, the calls to his fixer, and the payments made around the calls. Max's physical acting here is fantastic. The little tantrum he throws is maybe my favorite moment, like all season.
It's so good, and he improvised
so
that and hurt his hand doing it, he said.
Really?
Yeah.
I gotta read more interviews. That is delightful. I loved it. He hurt his hand.
Yeah.
It was worth it.
But that was just like a random thing he just inserted into the scene in the moment.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Amazing. I loved it so much.
Was it this one?
I think it was this one.
Because he also hits the table in the conversation with Henry at the beginning.
I'm pretty sure, but let me check myself. Yeah, it says, it was important to me how he deteriorates and how small he looks when he gets out of the car. It's sort of pathetic, and I thought that was very funny. I also had some kind of physical outburst that was completely not planned and ended up hurting my hand quite badly. Yeah.
It's very funny.
It was great. He's been great all season, but yeah, this episode especially.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, the way he's acting in this whole car scene is so fantastic. And he has that little perfect, like, resigned nod into the hotel room before he walks out the door, and yeah.
He looked really skinny when he was standing there in the garage afterwards.
I noticed that all in black.
Yeah.
When he walks into Henry's office, I noticed that as well.
I only noticed this episode.
Yeah.
And I thought it was because of the clothes that he wears. Also the angle.
Yeah, because he's always wearing a blazer, but now he was more like exposed. Yeah.
This might be sort of intentional to have him wear these, like, the shirts are like buttoned all the way up and they're like tighter. So it's almost like he's being squeezed by his clothing.
Right.
I definitely think it was a decision.
Yeah,
right.
I agree.
It was very
purposeful.
I don't think anything in this show is like non-intentional.
Right.
Yeah.
They pay attention to all the details.
Right.
Okay, I love how, so they mentioned the johatsu, which is a Japanese word for disappearing or for making people disappear. And remember when we were talking about the scene in the elevator from the previous episode, and we were confused about why the subtitle said Japanese to the guy that was speaking to him? So now it makes sense because he was communicating with a Japanese agency.
Right.
Oh. Yeah, that, like, because I thought maybe it was a mistake in the subtitles, but then now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I like the last line of the guy in the car too, that he says, "Off you fuck."
Yeah, love it. So English.
It's funny.
Now we learn the name of the rando at the bar that killed Jim Diker. His name is Des Watkins, per captions, and he works for the people Whitney works for. Whitney begs him to let him make his flight anyway, but they won't. They need Tinder's data set, and they need Whitney to stick around to take the fall. Pierpoint's data set would be even better. I was confused by that because I'm like, does Ferdinand think that's actually a possibility? Surely he knows that's not.
I think that Whitney didn't tell him and was bluffing about that.
Okay, so...
And that Ferdinand believed that they actually had that capability.
Oh, interesting. Everyone's lying to everyone.
Yeah. The Pierpoint thing was such a house of cards, like, because Whitney knew that he was going to leave before the conference anyway.
Yeah, right.
So it was just lying enough to get them distracted so that he could leave.
Yeah. When they let him free, he fucks off, and Henry's waiting for him upstairs with a lot of questions. Whitney's annoyed with Henry's questions, implies he was with a male escort as he slams his door behind him. I'm just wondering a little bit if maybe I'm giving Henry too much credit, which is entirely possible. But he's poking around so much in this scene, like watching out in the hallway, and then when he comes back, I'm just wondering if there's any chance this could lead to him figuring out about Whitney being a puppet for Ferdinand and those other guys.
I don't think so.
I don't know. It could be interesting if he figures that out, but yeah, it might be. I'm giving him too much credit, right?
I just don't think he's.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Yeah,
I'd be very surprised. It would be a nice twist,
right?
I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
And he just seems kind of genuinely concerned.
He does, and that's nice. Yeah.
And I guess it makes me wonder if he would dig more into it to figure out what's going on.
I just think he's not smart enough to figure it out.
No. I feel like he was concerned, no, for Whitney. More like, okay, what's going on? Am I in danger too?
Right, this will affect me. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's everything about how affect him only.
Yeah.
He doesn't care
Yeah.
about the rest of the people.
I agree. He doesn't even care about his wife, which, I mean, we had already established that, so it's not really notable at this point, but like in the beginning, only himself. I also like Max's acting up here in the hall.
Mm-hmm. The way, he's very dismissive, and then the delivery of like, just a fucking guy.
Yes.
You can't even see his face in some of it, and you can, I don't know, it's just really good. Like, he has this lot of really physical acting. That's always really, really good.
Yeah.
You don't need to see his face, or he doesn't need to speak to sort of convey what he wants to say.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly. Ricky breaks the news of Lisa's career imploding to her in the next scene. Finn Digest did, in fact, run the story Harper requested, and Lisa Dern is done. Her fingerprints are on everything. She quotes Anne Boleyn as she accepts that she's fucked. Acquit yourself of your charge, for I have long been prepared. She says she'll accept accountability and consider resigning. However, that's not enough. The Prime Minister is demanding her resignation immediately, before the story even runs. That is Lisa out.
Get the fuck on with it.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
She was a little naive, though, to not immediately understand that she was done for.
Been dismissed. Yeah.
Yes.
I liked her, though.
I like her a lot. She's very competent. I really liked her ability to, like, debate the side that she's not really on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though it didn't work out.
It really bothers me that they pressure her to resign so quickly, because I think if she had been a man, it wouldn't happen the same way.
Yeah.
They would cover for her.
Yeah. Politicians are always so, give so many passes to men.
Yes.
More than to women.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
So I think it's
irritating.
We need to point out that.
Yeah. Both of the people being so close to this being women, with Lisa and Jennifer Bevan, it's kind of like, they were just like, pick one of you. Like, one of you is going to take the blame for this, you know?
Yeah. Do we know, because I tried to think of where it had been said, but do we know who's the PM, the Prime Minister?
I don't think they've said a name.
But do we know whose party he's from? Because obviously he's Labour.
Right.
And the way he came across, it was like they wanted to like punish her anyway because they might not align with her views, but I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I mean, when Lisa said she's
the state secretary.
Yeah, well, she talked in a previous scene, she talked shit when she was like not throwing Jenny under the bus. She said she would defend like anybody to that gobshite. And I'm not saying that means he was the other party, but she really
great word.
She hated that guy, so could be the other party, but I don't know.
I do really agree with like Melissa's point, is the way he said it.
0 passes for women.
Yeah.
And a lot for men.
You far too romantic, Lisa, and she says, you mean Secretary of State? Not anymore, because she's been obviously fired, but
right. Well, why did she say that? She knew she'd been fired. It was all strange.
I don't know. I think she was trying to like keep a little bit of her composure, like be like, I'm above you.
With dignity.
Or I've been above you, so please, treat me accordingly.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I don't mean it that way.
Right.
But again, he did feel a little bit, was a bit misogynistic, in my opinion. Like,
for sure.
That's how he came across.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whitney's not looking so hot at the Pierpoint Almirage AGM meeting. He's not even going to do it, he says, but Henry pep talks him into it, and Whitney raises his hand, despite looking absolutely sick about it. And then he does that thing he does one last time. He gets more into it as he goes on, this act he does so well, as he offers to acquire Pierpoint for 1.9 times book in 90% stock, which made me laugh. Because then someone points out the obvious, a few people. Your company's falling apart, as will your stock. But he just replies with all his big words. Just more bullshit, another audience member calls it. Wilhelmina ensures him they'll take his offer under consideration in the C-suite after the meeting.
Yeah, he was so good in the scene.
Yeah.
That like transformation from just being broken and scared and like shut down to then delivering these smug, confident lines, and his posture changes, mannerisms, like it was so well done.
The music really helped too.
Yeah.
The whole scene was really good.
Yeah.
Because when he first gets up, he seems almost drunk. Like he's like kind of stumbling almost.
He's really struggling to keep it together.
Henry, I'm pretty sure this was a callback, but Henry says, Whitney, look at me. And it's like in the first scene with them together in this episode where Whitney says, Henry, look at me. That was interesting. Call back that line.
Mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Just felt like that was a parallel to something, but
yeah, it definitely felt like a parallel to when Whitney was pep talking Henry when he was afraid to go on stage for his speech a couple episodes ago. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Did you guys think about what they say later, but in this scene about the Almirage guy being the guy that Haley...
I didn't at the time, but it makes a lot of sense.
...was with in Abu Dhabi, yeah. I didn't think about it either, but...
Yeah, the one other person speaking up for them.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Wilhelmina already knows that it's all BS? Like,
I think she has no intention of going through with this.
Yeah, is she just playing him up? Like,
because she said she was just letting him say it to drive their price up.
Right, okay.
Which I even thought of in the moment because I was like, Winnie, why are you going for such a high price? That's a crazy move.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it just makes them look more valuable.
And I think she probably knows that he hasn't bought the stock because...
She would know, right?
If she didn't already know, she would have looked into it after they had their call and been like, okay, that's all bullshit too. Perfect, I was going to use him anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that's what I don't understand, why he did that. For more time?
Yeah, he's just trying to distract the world from the headlines of, you know, their balance sheet and needing an audit and being like, no, we're about to take over this huge company, and it's just distracting.
Mm-hmm.
He's just trying to buy time with distractions, I think.
Mm-hmm.
He has to carry on, like, pretending that this is happening. So Henry,
plays the law,
believes it and plays it.
Yeah.
And Ferdinand too, because he needs Ferdinand off his back.
And I was gonna say, like, he's just been threatened, about like, you have to do this. So
he has to do it.
Yeah, like he's been distracting everybody else and play his part, and then
till he can get away.
Right.
He still just wants to get away.
Off he fucks.
Yeah, off he fucks.
But also, how is he paying for private jet to go to New York?
Yeah, I would like to see his actual individual finances. That would be interesting.
Yeah. Is he paying?
I think it's all just more fake tender money. Like Tinder's just doing this to make them look famous and important, and
just charging it.
Probably Henry's money that he's invested on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they have to keep up the appearances, right? So that's something they're going to spend the money on, even though he couldn't give Haley $500,000. That's
Exactly.
Alexander calls Yaz, and this time they state clearly what they're about to do to Henry. Alexander does not think Henry will survive this even, and they haven't even warned him about it. He says it's not too late to stop the article from running, but Yaz insists that Henry receive the consequences this time around that he has never received. Also insists that it's love. And then as they hang out, she is crying, and so is Alexander. But as we discussed earlier, she's probably crying more for the loss of the life she imagined. I don't know.
It just really annoyed me that I get he's like a mess, but when she said, oh, he never faces the consequences, like, you pushed him to take this job.
Right.
You wanted this, and now you're like, oh yeah, well, look what he's done to us, and you wanted these, you forced him to do all of these things, this is what you wanted, and now you're just throwing him under the bus, like, no care.
Right. Yeah, all she cares is she gets no consequences. So yeah, it's very very infuriating,
so hypocritical.
Yep.
I could see how there might be a little moment mixed in with her just vaguely feeling something about that, because I mean, she has been through a lot with Henry, and so I think there's some feeling between them, complicated feelings between them. So I don't think she is completely
wants him to die, but she's willing to let him.
Yeah, it's not like she's saying no. It's not like she's letting that change her mind,
right?
But
I don't think she cares,
like, at all.
Oh, you don't think she cares at all?
No. She got engaged with him literally after like fucking Robert, like 3 seconds before. Like, I don't think there's ever been any real feelings there. She wanted that lifestyle.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Jasmine is doing this only for a way to punish Henry.
Yeah.
To be in control. Yeah. She says something similar. Or like, I think Harper says that to her later on. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Jasmine needs to control everything around her. But also I think in this decision is very cold-hearted with Henry in this decision specifically, because their last argument and discussions and everything that happened recently. So I think it's a vendetta or something of her sorts, She's really thinking like a punishment for him.
Yeah, she's not just trying to save herself. She's trying to literally destroy him because that's what she's doing.
It's a punishment. He's a kid. Whitney said.
Yeah. She's not wrong. I mean, he's a kid and he's stupid, but still
Yeah, and even what you were saying about her wanting control, one of their arguments, Henry says that to her, like, you just want me out of control so that you can
be in control.
Be in control, yeah.
Accurate.
But that was her being in control. She pulled the strings for him to be the CEO and, you know, to get ahead of Whitney. She wanted all of this,
Yeah.
Henry wakes up on the plane back to London, asks if Whitney had the Al Mirage exec that spoke up for him in his pocket, and Whitney confirms that he did. He used the word date pretty inaccurately when he says Haley used to date him. So that's what she did in Abu Dhabi that made her feel unsafe ever since. Whitney sees the news that Dern has resigned, and Henry sees the article Yaz and Alexander, and Harper and Burgess and everyone has collaborated to bring him down. Whitney's on about Pure Point, and Henry's finally like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You can't construct a universe where nothing is real. In return, Whitney calls him a child, and Henry disproves that by yelling at him to shut up.
Is that not what Henry did with Lumi? Like creating a world where nothing is real?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
that sounds right.
That was the whole point, right?
Yeah, and he just said that in the last episode. I can't remember the word, but basically, like, charades are fine as long as your heart is in it. And he said, that's what I did with Lumi. So, yes.
True.
The music, when the scene begins, it's like that drumming that was from episode 2, and he's dreaming about his dad. So I thought that was a really good music cue to match that to...
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Because he was dreaming about it,
Specific drumming sound, is in that episode where he's imagining his dad and stuff,
That's pretty cool. I didn't pick that up.
Who also shared with Whitney saying that Henry is a child. Was so funny.
He gets real harsh. Like, he really stabs the knife between his ribs in this scene, I thought. He's, like, not holding back at all.
For me, it was so gratifying.
Yeah. Yeah, gratifying.
Because he was like, for 1 second, he was genuine in saying something, like, sounds so genuine of him, like, oh, dude, just shut up.
Yeah.
The mask is completely off,
Doesn't give a fuck at this moment.
Yeah. No fucks to give.
Nope.
No fuck to give.
Whitney had a line when Henry tells him the dream that it was about his dad leaving. And then Whitney says, everyone we love has already started the process of going away. I was like, dude, that is dark. So I just started thinking again about how he just seems depressed in a way that maybe sort of mirrors some of Henry's darker moments earlier. There's just something like under the surface going on with him. I mean, we've seen his loneliness and everything, like in the last episode when he's just calling everybody he knows, back to back, calling Harper, calling Jonah. So it's just like, I don't know, that added another suspicion about the possible suicide that we were talking about last episode.
Yeah, I think that like he realizing everything is going to fall apart in 2 seconds.
Yeah, slipping out of his control.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even Jonah says something about that part of his personality when he's talking to Sweet Pea.
Yeah.
And he's saying he gets really low, when the stocks drop and like suicidal almost, and then just like a prince when he's high or whatever he said.
Yeah.
So,
which again is very similar to Henry. And we did,
yeah, exactly.
I think we did mention those similarities in previous episodes.
Yep.
Jennifer Bevan seems surprised by a beautiful bouquet of roses until she reads the card. They're from Lisa, which would be super sweet if the card didn't read, "It's been beautiful to watch you flourish, you Tori." Henry's back at the office and finds nobody there this time except a new assistant he doesn't even know. Haley's MIA, Whitney's MIA, and now Wilhelmina calls with the revelation that she only allowed their little show at AGM in order to make their other suitor jealous and bump up the price they're selling to Temesic. He is well and truly fucked. Oh, and Whitney never bought those shares of Pure Point that he told everyone about. It was all a mirage. All mirage. Before hanging up, she reminds him that they're watching the Tinder fallout closely so that they can pursue the call provision as soon as it's triggered. He tries to call Whitney, only to hear Whitney's phone vibrating in a drawer of his desk. What do you think happened to Whitney?
He left.
Voluntary departure?
I thought so.
If you ever see me without it, you can assume I'm dead comment,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
You're like, okay, he's without his phone. I bet Henry thinks he's dead or thinks that he may have either fucked off or tried to kill himself.
Right. I hope he fucked off, but...
Yeah, those would be the two most likely. I don't think we've seen the last of him.
I felt like we did, and we weren't going to find out what happened to him. I think that would have been maybe not satisfying, but I think it would have been fitting because of the whole, like, you know, he's recycling himself and resurrecting himself and has different personalities and different lives he's lived.
I think that could still make sense for what's happened. Like if he's trying to just now take that escape route and just left the phone.
Because I really generally didn't think he killed himself. I think he was more like, dropping the hint of like, this is me done.
Yeah, or like the character of Whitney is dead, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Now he's going on to the next personality.
Whatever that is.
I think he went to hide somewhere, you know, before everything just collapse and take his course. And maybe that's the way he can survive this. If there's any hope for him to survive this, because I don't know if he believes that is something that's important for him to survive. I don't know. I do feel that Tender is everything for him. So I don't know if there is anything left to live for.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he spent a lot of money and a lot of time planning that escape route, though. So he was going to just go become some other guy.
Yeah, I don't think that's changed.
So he was accepting that possibility or that path for his life.
But then the guy did say to him, like, you know, no one really disappears. If somebody wants to find you, they will find you.
Yeah, he also, we don't know anything about his family.
No, or his previous life.
Yeah, he's very lonely.
But it does sound like, by the sound of it, he's done this before, right? That's what we can guess from it. I don't know.
I would buy that, yeah.
I would love to know more about his backstory. Not that we necessarily will, but...
No, he's been a very interesting addition to the show, definitely.
Somehow the most mysterious character on the show, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Jennifer Bevan's clutching her roses, funnily, when Yaz calls her. I think I would have dumped those. Yaz is feeling her out about the articles and Dern's resignation, and oddly seems to think she's got a new job with Jennifer Bevan, which Jenny quickly and aggressively corrects, essentially calls her a pig shit thick lightweight without a single real belief, and one in a marriage of convenience with a husband that you abandoned when he needed you most. That really gets under Yaz's skin very effectively.
She's right on the money, though. So good.
Yes.
Right. I love the line Jenny says to take that for a dance around your conscience. That's a good way to phrase that. I like that.
Everything she says is so good.
So on point.
Stern Tao is predictably thrilled. Front page news tomorrow is going to be the launch of a fraud investigation and a government-ordered audit. Stock looks like it's opening down 77%. They are so very in the money, and they're going to start exiting their position slowly. Stern Tao wins in the end.
Hold on, the race is not over yet.
No, that's true. A whole episode. Big episode.
Seems like going too well for them.
I do love Sweet Pea's excited little like slap of her legs and her little shout at the end.
Yes. That was my other favorite physical moment of the episode. Whitney's tantrum and Sweet Pea's excited leg slapping. Adorable. Yaz sums it up well when Harper comes to meet her at the bar. You must be levitating. When Harper assures Yaz she didn't want this to come at her expense, Yaz calls her out. This is actually all you've ever wanted. You up there, me down here. And this time Harper admits that's true. But then they give each other legitimate compliments and admiration. Well, Yaz at least. Harper just says she'd do anything to see how easy it was to live a day in Yaz's body. So I'm not sure that counts. Yaz just wants to be necessary, she says. She thinks she's never been necessary, which is a really sad thing to say. And Harper tries to get to the bottom of it, which leads Yaz to thinking about her childhood with her dad and how she was always at his mercy. They decide to go out hard, do all the things Lord sings about. And the end of the episode is a montage of the two of them partying their asses off, definitely high on something. MDMA, maybe? Whatever it is, they feel amazing and wish it could last forever as they both smoke. Yaz laying on Harper amongst crazy amount of people. What scene is that, Raquel, in London? Where do you find all these people outside like that?
I think they're probably waiting to go into like an after hours. I genuinely don't know. I've never done that. They're queuing for something. So like you would get like these huge like spaces where you can smoke.
Yeah.
But I know what they're obviously queuing for something, so I don't.
Right, that's what it seemed like. I was very curious.
I love the way that was shot though, just going down the hall with all the people and then stopping on them, and the framing of that last shot of them together was really good.
On the floor, looking real messy.
Real messy. It was such an interesting choice for the end of, second to last episode. Penultimate episode, big deal. I like that they chose to do that with it. One line that stood out to me too that I didn't write down was when Yaz tells Harper, like, I used to feel so alone around you, and now you're the only person I don't feel alone with. Is that what she says?
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
I always find it really, again, like fascinating is the word, because they are so similar. They always have to be at odds with each other.
Right.
Like they couldn't team up if they wanted to. They could be, but it's just, yeah, I don't know. This is not gonna last, I don't think so.
Right. Maybe season 5 they'll team up. I doubt it.
They'll try.
Maybe part of the reason for her saying that line about like you're the only one I don't feel alone with is partly because they have been so awful to each other so many different times that they've like seen the darkest sides of each other, and she's not showing that to anybody else. I mean, she obviously still tries to hide it to a certain extent with Harper, but like we were saying earlier in the scene where she comes in with this plan and she seems like her heart's not even in the lie. So it's almost like, yeah, they're the only ones that they've been through all of this together and they've seen the worst of each other.
They don't have to pretend with one another, but they're also like very similar. Like it's not only like I've seen the worst in you, it's just like I recognize the worst in you and I see it in myself too.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's how I know you really understand me and why I can be honest with you finally. But they can only do that when they're at the same level in a way. If they're competing or like fighting for something, they will always screw each other up. That's just always going to happen, I think. Or maybe not. I mean, there's been some self-reflecting this season for both of them.
Yeah.
Like the conversation with them two at the bar before they went clubbing reminded me of Eric and Harper's conversation when her mother dies.
Yeah.
They're just being genuine for the first time maybe in the show.
Yeah. Harper does have a line. She says, where does that come from? The need for control or desire to dominate? And in that particular moment, I didn't feel like it was totally obliviously asking a friend that question. Like, I think she knows that she's asking herself that too, the way she said it.
Yeah. For the first time, I don't think she meant it as an insult. She would like,
no,
you know, this is something that we both do. And why? What do you think?
What do you think we do it? It's like a curiosity kind of like, what is it about us that makes us need this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much looking forward to the finale.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't wait.
You know what is funny? A lot of my friends and coworkers are watching industry, not because I said something to them. So that's cool.
That's cool.
That's really good.
I never had anybody like that I knew that were watching it. But yeah, recently we're like talking about it with friends. And like, oh yeah, we're watching that. Like we're saying that we were podcasting it. Yeah. I don't know if it's got new popularity or people just weren't talking about it. But I think this one is definitely been more popular than the previous one, right?
Yeah, it seems like it.
Yeah, a lot.
I don't know any other show I can think of that has changed so dramatically from its original world. Like it's really grown into a different thing and it works and it's like
Exactly.
It's good. And I really like this season more than the others, but I haven't seen that before.
I know. Every time it's the opposite, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just drag it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's the only show I can think about that they are grown season after season.
Yeah, this whole season's been phenomenal.
One thing that they've done really well is like even the original characters have grown in a way, or they've not become boring, or like
right.
Sometimes they just change them completely out of the blue, and there's no makes any sense. And these are being really consistent.
Yeah,
logical evolutions.
Yeah, and there's also like even the ones that have left, they faded them out really well, like Robert.
Right.
Or like some of the other ones from people in that we still see them in the business.
Pop up.
Like,
yeah, I like that.
Really, really good. Yeah.
Funny fact, the show between yesterday and today has grown in popularity in the IMDb page. It was 38 yesterday and now is 25. So
wow, that's big.
It's good.
That's really good.
Yeah, that's great. All right, I guess that's a wrap on our discussion of season 4, episode 7. Come back next week for the finale. Thanks for listening.
Bye.